listening to Community Forum on KCCC 930 AM, sponsored by Eddy County, honoring God, country, and family, thriving with industry since 1889. Thank you for listening to Community Forum. My name is Johnny Chandler. I'm the owner of KCCC 930 AM, the host of Community Forum. With me today for a second time is Taylor Gonzalez. Taylor Gonzalez with two Z's, correct?
Yes, sir.
All right, Taylor Gonzalez, two Z's. I mean, I don't think that that's necessarily like an important designation, but whenever I'm emailing you and stuff, I got to remember that it's two Z's because we know that Gonzalez's can have S's in them as well. No big deal at all. But Taylor Gonzalez is the brand new soft skills instructor here at SENMC.
Yes, sir.
All right, so how are you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Good, good. So you have a class coming up pretty soon.
Yes, I do.
Okay, and what's the, so let's talk a little bit. Let's just get into that immediately real quick. So
yes.
Taylor Gonzalez with two Z's is the host. The total course is only 4 hours long. The cost of this course is only $20. The course dates are July 9th, 16th, 23rd, and 30th. So just 4 hours in the month of July. That's on a Wednesday. They're 1 hour classes from 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. The best way to sign up is to give us a call here at SENMC with the Community Education Department or come on by.
Yes.
Okay. Now, do you have any phone numbers or anything for us to read so people can contact you and reach out so they can sign up?
Yes. So if they're interested in this class, they can call 575-234-9268.
Okay. Now, this is not an academic class. You're not going to be getting academic credit for this. This is through our Community Education Department.
Correct.
Which is a great place to learn additional skills, hobbies, and so forth. But yours is basically, it is a skill class.
Absolutely.
Okay. So what's the official title of this class?
So it is Essential Soft Skills for Success.
Okay, Essential Soft Skills for Success. Now, I don't know about you. I'm going to say this. It's my radio program. It's my radio station. I'm going to say it however I want. I think there are plenty of places in Carlsbad and Eddy County where they have employees that are lacking the basic soft skills.
Yes, absolutely agree with you.
So why don't you explain to everybody that's listening a little bit about what the definition of soft skills is?
Okay, well, the intro to this is going to be, how can you compete in a world where everyone is talking about AI? Soft skills are the answer. They allow you to connect and serve with others, whether they are a customer, supervisor, or coworker. With in-person and online skill building, this course helps you practice and improve the essential attributes that will set you apart in your workplace or the job market. Now, Mr. Chandler, as you were telling our viewers about this course, however, I didn't get to tell you that those that sign up for this class, the first class is free.
Okay, so it's $20 class, but not this one.
Not the first class.
Okay, and how many people are you accepting into the first class?
So I would like to accept at least 20 just to see how fast we can get this growing.
I mean, so 20 would be very large enrollment for us. That's not a negative. It's just that we're a small community and a small college. So if we have 20, that would be considered a very large class. Also quite successful. Classes work really well between 10 and 20 also. And you also want some of that other, you want more than like two people because you really want the class to be interactive.
Exactly. I need them to be talking to one another, talking to me, talking to their classmates. I want them to be able to start growing an idea of how everyone thinks and how they react to things.
Okay. So, did you take any soft skills classes before you've actually started teaching this?
So I did with Professor Rogers when he was here at our college.
Okay.
When it was originally NMSU.
Yeah.
I had to take a communication class with him because it was a part of my academics.
NMSU is a dirty word around here now.
I know.
No, that's all right.
Shunned for it.
Yeah, go ahead. So you took that class with Dr. Rogers?
Yes, I did.
Okay. And what did you learn in that class?
I learned eye contact is key.
Mm-hmm.
Being able to communicate when it comes to the topic of discussion is important. I learned that you need to focus on the topic because if you ramble and ramble, you lose your person.
Okay.
So,
all right. So I think one of the things that is just the basic common courtesies of interacting with people day to day is something that's lost, especially amongst our young people, but our adults as well. And I'm going to contribute that directly to the phones.
Oh, I know.
Right.
I'm guilty of this too. Like I have to put a timer on my phone.
Right.
Because if I don't.
Are you a doom scroller?
I will doom scroll. And
what's your favorite app to doom scroll right now?
The news.
The news, okay, but like are you not a social media person?
You know what? I have so much of my family that live in so many different places on social media that I can't keep up.
Right.
I'll only be on there for 10 to 15 minutes to make sure all my family's good and that everyone's alive.
Right.
And then after that, I dip.
Did you ever have a MySpace account?
I did.
You did have a MySpace account?
I had my top friends. It was horrible.
Yeah, top 8. I always got really disappointed when somebody removed me from their top 8.
It's like emotional damage.
Yeah, and that was like training us to like really be addicted to the computers and the social media apps from the beginning.
And then the music you would have to go find to make it your cover.
I mean, I would work like 8 to 10 hours a day at the TV station in Albuquerque. Right?
Oh,
and
you were on the TV?
Yeah, well, I used to work for Channel 13 and Channel 4 in Albuquerque for almost 16 years. And then latest role was assistant news director at KOB. But then what I would do is like when I was younger anyways, I would go home and then I would spend like another 2 hours on the computer, like decorating your page on MySpace and picking songs and all that stuff. It's gotten pretty bad. I don't know why MySpace necessarily died, but I got tired of it myself. So, you went for MySpace, then you went to Facebook, right? And then I got Instagram.
Yep.
And then I was like, that's it, I'm done. I was like, I'm officially an old guy now. Like I didn't appreciate Snapchat, right?
Oh, I know.
And I don't care for TikTok very much either.
Now, I will say TikTok has helped me become more organized.
Okay. How so?
So with having 3 kids,
okay,
I did not realize how unorganized I was with like my kiddos, like their stuff when it came to their dress ups, their toys, because I feel like my kids, we own Toys R Us because there's just a mountain of toys. And so I got this cubicle and I just started figuring out how to just make all their toys not look so cluttered, but also taking toys out that they don't play with anymore and just recycling them.
Okay.
And then finding out like what they're most into and what they're not into, but being able to give them a room that looked like a kid room.
Okay.
More spacious, more to their
growth. So there's some benefit to social media if you use it correctly.
If you do. Now, there is a lot of things, whether you're on Instagram, Facebook, or TikTok, where there's a lot of stuff on there that shouldn't be on there.
Right.
So I know when it's time to get off.
Right. So, how easy it is for us to talk about social media just kind of shows how addictive everybody can be to it, right?
And that's where this class comes in and is perfect.
Okay. Explain that to me a little bit.
So with this class, we have 12 attributes that we're going to be teaching our students. One of them is going to be leadership. One of them is going to be problem solving. The other one is going to be able to handle a customer that is very irate. And as myself, I have had multiple interactions with customers that were difficult because when they come in, they want that product completed. They want it fixed. They want it to the best. And I don't blame them. But as the employer, if we don't know how to handle that, we blank, and then we lose that opportunity to keep them coming back, to keep other customers coming back. So with this class it's going to be able to teach them how to handle and do these different skills in a professional, impersonal, and personal way. Okay.
So would you say that this class would be perfect for anybody, any company that currently has a service industry or any person looking to enter the service industry?
Yes. Any company, whether you're a mom and pop shop, whether you're a fast food chain, whether you are a company that has been around for decades, this class is going to help your employers have these skills and know these skills to be able to better serve the public.
Yeah, I think that one thing that's really lacking, and I believe, is basic telephone courtesy skills.
Oh,
right?
I know.
Like, so I know that, my daughter, who's 22, like I can't ever get her to talk on the phone with me, but we'll text.
It's
right?
like one worded stuff.
Yeah. And we'll text, no problem. But talking on the phone is like really difficult,
It's pulling teeth.
But when you get into the professional world, speaking on the phone and learning how to be courteous on the phone, how to say, how are you? Thank you. What can I help you with? All those things are real important. And those are skills that, me at 45, I learned naturally going through work because there wasn't a text messaging option, right?
No, we had the envelopes that our parents would write on for us and be like, this house better be spotless.
That's right. You got home and there's some notes there. Make sure you take the chicken out of the freezer.
The underlining with all that emotion.
Oh, yeah, right. No, you're absolutely right. And then 5 minutes before they come home is when you try to get everything done real quick.
Defrosting it under the sink.
Absolutely. That happens. That happens plenty. So when we have this class, remember everybody, this is the essential soft skills for success. The first class is July 9th. It's only 4 hours through the month of July. How much material can we cover in 4 hours?
Oh, we could cover a lot of material. We will be able to go over the topic. I will be able to give them the outline of what we're going to be going over. Once we have completed it, I'm going to be letting them know what the next 2 assignments are going to be for them, give them a layout of those, because
Is there going to be homework?
I'm going to just give them the ability. I want my students to be able to do it on their own, to kind of have that idea, to know what is going to be presented to them. And then when we come back and we discuss, they can let me know, hey, I really liked that. That really helped me. Or, hey, I'm not so sure that I understand this. Could you maybe help better answer it for me? Because it didn't really make sense. Because this class only takes 30 minutes. So that's the best part. We're not going to be just sitting for a whole hour going over the entire topic.
Now, give us a little bit of idea of, like, you know, you didn't have to invent all the material for this, right?
I did not.
There's some organization that SENMC has teamed up with.
Yes.
Now, tell me what can I expect when I walk into the class, right? Am I going to expect just a lecture? Am I going to get to see some great animated, funny videos? Like, what am I expecting to see?
So when you come in, I want to make sure that everyone's going to be able to get onto the program, get them logged in. And then what's going to happen is there's going to be like a table for them. They're going to get to click on it. They're going to get to look through, and it is going to be animated. They're all animated characters. Nancy Friedman is going to be in each of the videos explaining to us each different topic. And she does a very good job.
Is Nancy Friedman like some type of famous person?
So I don't.
The name sounds real familiar to me, which is why I think that.
So she is really well known for creating different programs that help strengthen customer service in companies. And with this program that we have introduced to SENMC, she does a really good job at breaking down why we don't say these killer words, but how we better strengthen our communication skills.
Right.
So she's going to be in all of these videos.
Is there going to be a lesson on how to deal with the angry customer?
Yes,
how to deal with the Karen?
It's called How to Handle an Irate Customer. That's literally the topic.
Customer. I was like, they should have called it How to Deal with a Karen, you know?
See, yeah.
No, go ahead. No,
I would have wanted that, but.
Well, I feel really bad. I have an aunt who I really love very much, and her name is Karen, right? And she was Karen long before everybody made fun of the Karens, you know?
Shout out to Karen.
I know. And she works at Lowe's in Albuquerque. She has for like 20 some odd years.
Nice.
She have a Karen working in the service industry. So you better not bring a Karen to Karen because she knows how to handle it, right?
She'll up the Karen.
Right. And I think that what's important to learn and for everybody to know in that aspect is every single industry, every single job, everything that you can do is a service industry, customer service related job, right?
Yes. Even being a substitute like myself.
Right? Yeah.
You have to deal with so many different kids that have so many different backgrounds.
Well, and they might not have the same respect for you that they would for a regular teacher because they think they could just play all day because we got a sub here.
Oh,
right?
yeah. No.
And then you also deal with like a bunch of different age groups as well, right? Are you planning on substitute teaching the next school year as well?
I do not. I would love to stay here at SENMC for as long as I can.
Well, you're gonna have to really do a good job for that to happen.
Oh, don't even worry. I can handle this.
I think you're off to a great start. So interestingly enough, soon, not going to mention a date because this is pre-recorded, but you're going to be working with Lifehouse on some of these service skills?
Yes. So with us getting this program started, we have been really looking forward to branching out with Lifehouse, helping their individuals that are living with them, helping them rebuild their skills, helping them have the ability to do communication, getting their confidence back when it comes to how they want to be in the public, getting them to know how to problem solve, because I'm just as guilty. I sometimes think, oh, I can do that. But then in actuality, the way I thought I could problem solve it isn't really the right way.
Okay.
So helping those individuals relearn these skills to make them successful in the public, I would love to work with them and help them.
I have been an irate customer plenty of times. And I'll tell you where I've been an irate customer at. No offense to Lowe's, but sometimes it is one of the most frustrating experiences to go into that store sometimes.
Done that at Lowe's?
I've been like the I can't believe this is happening customer, right?
Okay.
Before.
Wally World is my guilty.
Okay. Yeah.
I get mad when they move things from the aisle that have always been there and they put it in such a different place.
Right.
And I don't understand why it goes.
And I think that
there.
so it's important for people that work in those industries because like working at Lowe's is a great job,
It
right?
is.
Working at Walmart is a good job for a lot of people as well. And a lot of these places are so large and there's so many people in there that it can become a frustrating experience. So I think the skill set that you're going to be able to offer with this class will be very, very good for people that work in the industry because the customer is always right.
Yes.
Right? Do you remember we hear that saying
Yes.
that in a way? Right, but in a way to deal with that customer. And retail is a very frustrating experience. I worked at Walmart when I was in college. You know what I mean? So I know, but like the inner workings of a Walmart, and then I know what it's like for customers to come in and be extremely frustrated. And then whenever they remodel a store, it's like, forget about it. Everybody that walks in is going to be upset for a little
Right.
while. So how do you deal with that upset customer?
You make sure that you keep your tone professional.
Okay.
You keep your emotions professional, and you make sure that you help the customer find the product, reassure them that you were able to help them and that you enjoyed helping them. And then that you just hope that they have a great rest of their day.
Well, and sometimes if you can't solve the problem, it's about being heard, right? I
Yes.
listened to this customer. I tried what I could do, right? And even if I wasn't able to help you at this point, they're going to walk away being like, wow, that person really gave me the time of day.
Yes. And that when my very first job ever, I worked at Albertsons before they knocked it down.
Right.
And I was a courtesy clerk. And then they had me move to the meat market.
Okay.
And
Well, the meat market can be a frustrating experience.
it is because you have to constantly shuffle all of your product around.
Right.
And then you get new product that comes in. So you have to know how to cook it, how to prep it. How long can you let it sit? How does it taste when you cook it with different foods? Because you have customers, some of them like to cook, some of them want to have it for a family function. So you need to make sure that when you sell them your products, they're going to be satisfied with it because not everybody likes the same thing.
Well, we went into Albertsons once to get a bunch of chicken for an event that we were holding.
Right.
Right. And we got a bunch, and they ended up giving us like a bunch of scraps. Right. And my wife was really mad. Right. And then we're on a timeline too. Right. So this is very difficult. But we went in there not happy to get to have our product fixed. And the guy behind the counter did a pretty good job.
Good for
he was
him.
not like he did, don't give somebody attitude when you give us the wrong thing. But more importantly, they didn't like, oh, okay, I understand. No problem. Let me get that going for you right away. And that's kind of the skill set that you're going to have to deal with soft skills. Now, you mentioned a little while ago that there were 12 skills, 12 sets.
There's 12 principles.
Okay,
to
well,
this
12
program.
principles. That's the correct word. So 12 principles. Let's test your memory and see if you can name all 12 of those principles.
Oh,
Are you going to use? I'll let you use the cheat sheet. That's not a problem. Not a big deal. But so I want to know what the 12 principles are, and let's go through all those 12s.
Okay. Well, we have problem solving,
Okay.
time management.
Right.
We have teamwork. We have adaptability,
All right.
communication, leadership, conflict resolution. That
Okay.
one's important. Critical thinking, creativity, active listening, organization, attention to detail, and open-mindedness.
Okay.
So
All right.
it's going to help them have the ability to take each topic that we go over and take their mindset into a different perspective with each of those
Okay.
and learn how to use each of those skills when they come into a contact with a customer that
Right.
may need their help with the simplest thing to the biggest thing.
Right.
And like I was always told, treat your workplace like a business. What you put into it is what you're going to get out of it.
Okay.
And what you put into it, make sure it is positive. Because if you put negative into it, you're just going to get negative out of it.
Right.
And so when I worked at Albertsons, I always tried to be positive because I wanted those customers to come back. I wanted them to have me be the one to serve them if they needed a steak or if they needed chicken or if they needed an order placed. I wanted to be the one that served them because it made me feel like I was benefiting and doing a good job as a employee, because when they had their smile on their face or that satisfaction was there, that was huge to me. And it made me just want to work harder and be better. And so with this class, I want my students to come in feeling like they can do better, that they can benefit, that where they work matters to them.
Right.
So they can grow and go from a low position to a higher position and so on and so
Right.
forth.
I mean, you're going to have to master those skills if you want to upskill and you want to get a better job and more money and potentially be a manager or whatever comes with that. Those are things you're going to have to learn. Right. Absolutely. So this is the essential soft skills for success. Is there an age group? Where do you want to try to keep this at?
We're trying to reach anyone that is from the age of 18 and up. So I want kids that just got out of high school. I want students that are enrolled here at SENMC. I want adults that are my age and on. I would love to have those that are in their 60s take this class.
Right.
Because I even feel that those that were baby boomers, Gen X's, I feel like with us having these smartphones, it's kind of done a reverse effect.
Right.
Because they had communication skills. They had all of these attributes because they didn't have technology. And now that we have technology, well, now the technology has made them reverse because now they're depending on it.
Right.
Whereas our young kids of today, they've grown up with it.
Right.
They know how to work all this new stuff that I'm still trying to figure out.
You're still trying to figure. You're still trying to learn
I feel
that.
so bad. I'm like,
So
this is making
for this
me look
first
bad.
class, which starts July 9th, you can sign up by calling 575-234.
9268.
Thank you very much on that. You can also go to senmc.edu to learn a little bit more about that. You can look at our community education summer calendar, which is on the website as well.
Yes.
Even though the class will cost $20 eventually, this first class is free.
This first class is free and they don't have to worry about paying for the material. There is no book that is required.
Yeah.
Once they sign up at our college and they get registered for this class, then they automatically will get the material.
Okay.
Once they get the material, they come to me. We will sit down. I will go over the lesson and they will get to know how to be successful with soft skills.
And I think this is one of those things where like people can get pretty confident about it.
Oh,
right.
yes.
And they can like, oh, I know how to do that. I know soft skills. I know how to talk to somebody. I know how to conflict resolution. I know how to make somebody feel better. But there might be some tips and stuff in here that you haven't really thought of.
Well, and what I love about this class is I'm going to have them work together.
Right.
On what to do.
So it's going to be interactive.
It is. They are going to have to be able to interact with classmates.
Now, is everybody going to be in front of their own computer for this class?
So, yes, I would like for them to have their computer. That way they know how to use it.
So we have the computer here at SENMC. They don't need to bring it. Okay.
No, but if they need it if they could bring theirs as a backup, because those things do happen, I would like for them to bring a backup computer.
Okay. Well, so if you have a laptop, go ahead and bring it. But if you don't stress on that. We'll have it for you.
Yes.
The location is room 213, which you'll learn more about once you sign up for the class. But that is a computer lab room.
It is a computer lab room.
Right. So there's definitely there should be a computer for everybody there.
Yes.
So I think that this is really important. I do believe that there's a lot of professionals out there that feel like soft skills have been lost.
I would agree with them because when you have AI intelligence that can write a paper for you, it can help you have a conversation, you lose the ability to get creative and do it on your own.
Yeah, that's one of the things that I'm having a hard time coming around to is I'm not using AI probably as much as I could, actually. You know what I mean? Like, because I came from before computers, basically, right? When I was in college, no one had a computer at home. No one had a personal computer at home, right? So they had a computer lab on campus that we all went to all the time. But nobody had a computer at home. There was no point in it at the time. None of us had cell phones yet. You know what I mean? And so the idea is now that AI is there and can be used for so many things, I'm not using it, right?
I refuse to use it.
Well, I mean, that's up to you. But I do believe that I have gotten some emails from some young people lately where put it in AI before you send it to me if that's how you're going to write an email.
Right.
Right. Writing a professional email can take some time. You know, and so if that's how you write emails, use AI as a companion for that.
Use it as a backup just to make sure you are getting the message across. That I completely understand. But I just feel in our world of today, it has just become so mainstream that that's what everybody's using.
I did some substitute teaching a couple of years ago at Alta Vista Middle School.
Okay.
Right. And I taught an English class for about a month and a half and in the same class. And so one thing that I did for that class is, and I was just a sub, but as I got more comfortable, is I would not let the students use their computers.
Okay.
Right.
I like that.
So like every time they're on their computers all day, they're on their devices all day. Can we have 1 hour class to where we're actually being interactive, maybe writing something down and doing it a little differently? Because I felt like the computers were too much. They were too distracting. Plus, whenever they had the computers up, they always had extra tabs open. They were always being distracted on that. And so just in that short amount of time of substitute teaching, I was then able to be like, let's learn how to talk in person. Let's learn how to respond. Let's learn how to have respect for each other, right? And so I've witnessed one of your teaching demonstrations already when you were showing off to us. You did a pretty good job, and I know you've only gotten better. And so I really like the fact that this brings an interactive component of, yes, we have some really fun. The videos are pretty fun, actually, too. So we got some fun videos that are going to make you laugh a little bit. But there's also some real in-person communication as well, which is really important.
Yeah, and we'll be able to kind of critique it a little bit because it's so customer service based that we'll be able to change some of those topics that Nancy Friedman discusses, and we'll be able to flip it and say, okay, if this setting took place at Lowe's, I'm going to use your example.
Okay, right.
If you had a customer that came in and was wanting to know if you carry a Honda mower and it needed to have this size of a mower and it needs to hold this much grass, and supposedly it shows at Lowe's that they carry it, but then they can't find it.
Right.
Well, how do you reassure them that you do have it, and where do you go take them to find it?
Right.
And if you don't have it, how do you help them and say, I'm sorry, at the moment we don't carry that. However, I could order it for you and it'll get here. And if you would like, we can also do free delivery.
Right.
Just to make sure that you help them and they know that you're listening. That's key.
Right.
We always want someone that's listening.
Well, let's not present. Dealing with people can be difficult. People can be difficult, right? So it's important, pardon me, it's important for you to have those skills, right? To where you know how to react, how to calm the situation down, and to be like, not be that difficult person, right? Or to calm the difficult person down, which can happen. I've walked in, I've been frustrated at gas stations before. I walked in, I catch myself being frustrated. One time I was a really frustrated experience at one of the gas stations. I couldn't get the card to work. I walked in and I stopped for a second and I was like, I'm sorry, I'm having a really bad day, right? And so the customer, the woman behind the counter, literally came out with me to the pump to help me figure out how to get that taken care of.
That is so nice.
I started off hot, like, you know what I mean? And I was like, I'm sorry, I'm having a bad day. Everybody has bad days. You know what I mean? And then she came out, she helped me resolve the problem. It was me just skipping a button. But the frustration of my entire day just was compounding, right? So as a result, she came out, she helped me, got everything situated, and I felt very grateful. And now that has become my favorite gas station as a result.
Look at you. And see, that's what it's about, is building those relationships with those individuals, because had it not been for her coming out and doing that with you, you probably wouldn't want to go to that gas station because you'd be like, oh, can't go there.
Well, obviously I'll go to one where I have to hit one less button or something. You know what I mean? Like whatever the situation
whatever makes it easier.
Right, whatever makes it easier. So that's a good example.
Yeah, and what's great about this class is it's going to help them be able to have those conversations about, okay, well, how do I do this, or how do I solve this? Because this doesn't really make sense to me, and how can I make myself better? And so that's where this class is going to help them understand how to be able to use those skills and how to relearn, okay, we can't do that, we can't say that. Instead, calm, collective, respectful.
Yeah.
Make sure you are talking to the customer the way that you would want them to talk to you.
Right. You ever been to a Chick-fil-A?
They are so happy all the time.
See what I'm saying? And that's a very stressful job because it's so busy all the time.
And I have shown up there because I have so many doctor's appointments, and my kids, that is their favorite place. But when we have been up all day and I am on my last string, and that place is my saving grace, because I'm like, go to the playground. Just go to the playground.
Right. But like the idea is that's a stressful place, yet they're still so happy. So that is the example of a business that has built a really great culture.
And it makes me go back all the time.
Right.
And they don't even do anything. They don't give me a grand finale. They are just the sweetest, kindest, helpful individuals.
Right.
And it doesn't matter who it is, young, middle, old.
Right. And so when you are if that's the type of job that you have, right, you need to learn customer service. These soft skills are going to help you learn that.
Right.
And I think that if you're not happy with where you're at in life, guess what we have here in the community?
Right.
We have a community college that you can go to school and upskill yourself, right? So
Yes. And before I forget, with those that are doing Lifehouse, if they take this class, we are giving them a certification of completion.
well, yeah, I mean, yeah, there should be a certification.
And well,
of completion.
they should be awarded for that because they're working hard to show that they care about their soft skills.
When you're applying for a job and you take the soft skills class with you, Taylor Gonzalez with 2 Z's, right? If you take that class here with you at SENMC, you can add that to your resume.
You can.
Right.
Yes, you can.
You know, I have good customer service skills. I've learned conflict resolution. I've learned leadership. I've learned how to be patient. I've learned how to deal with the angry customer. I know how to solve the problem for them. And I know how to make it a more desirable experience, right? So if you're working at a company, it's important that you represent that company very well.
Exactly.
Good communication is a real key to that.
And we're going to have some individuals, I've asked some of them that own their own businesses in town, they are going to come in at the end of our lesson, at the end of July. And I'm going to let some of those individuals come in and talk to my students.
Right.
And see how they've learned these skills and how they've built them. Because I told them, you may run into them. I want my students to know you may run into these individuals one day and you may want to work for them. And if you don't prepare yourself for that, then how are you going to be able to do that?
Well, there are no shortage of jobs in Carlsbad, right? You can get a job almost anywhere. I could walk around. I mean, I have a good job, but I could walk around tomorrow and walk out the door tomorrow and get a job at many places in Carlsbad. And my experience with soft skills and customer service throughout my life is going to be very helpful. So it's important that I think that people take a soft skills class. You can always upskill your lifestyle. You can always upskill your ability to deal with other humans, right? We are all pretty good with dealing with computers now, right?
Yeah.
Is what you were saying, right? We're all really good at dealing with computers. But computers are a little simpler than humans. They don't come with the same range of emotions that humans do. Computers don't really have bad days. And if they do have bad days, we can just restart them, you know?
Yeah.
And you can't restart a human,
No.
right? So it's very important that I'm excited about this class. I think this is a really great class. There's a lot of great material for it. I think that you're going to be a great instructor. This is going to be your first one, right?
This is going to be my first one. And I'm super excited because I'm just excited to meet anyone and everyone that is wanting to take this class that wants to up their communicational skills. And I'm just excited that I get to be the one that teaches them how to be better and how to be successful and how to advance as they go into their career.
Right. It's one thing. So when I was in high school in Clovis, New Mexico, I graduated from Clovis High School. Right. Go Wildcats. When I was at Clovis High School, I worked at Wendy's when I was in high school.
Was the meat really fresh or
It
was
is.
it frozen?
It's not frozen. I was like, they're not lying about that. It's not frozen, right? I mean, but like the idea is that, you know, there's a lot of interpersonal communications in those type of jobs, right? You have to deal with a lot of different customers, and they're quick, right? They want their food right away. They want it really quickly. It's really easy for somebody to get upset at you, right?
Yeah.
So when I worked that job, I learned a tremendous amount of skills, knowing that I wanted to be better in life than working at Wendy's, right? I made a good paycheck as a young person working at Wendy's, and I thought that that's all I needed to worry about, right? I was like, well, look at all the money that I'm making. And that's fine when you're 18, right? But when you're 40, you don't still want to be doing that job because you're still going to be making the same amount of money, right? When you're 40.
Right.
When you're 18 and you got your parents covering for you, you know what I mean?
The sky's the limit.
Rent for free.
You can do it all.
That feels like a lot of money, right?
Yeah.
But down the line, as you progress in your career, you need to have the skill set to advance in a career.
Correct.
Or choose a career. So that's what we can do here at SENMC, and we can start with soft skills class. So go ahead and give us all the information on how they can sign up and when the classes are again.
So if you guys are interested, please call SENMC at 575-234-9268 and get involved on how to sign up for soft skills. We are going to meet in July every Wednesday, the 9th, the 16th, the 23rd, and the 30th. It's going to be from 11 to noon, only 1 hour. We're going to meet in room 213 every Wednesday, and you can bring your laptop as a backup. If not, we have a computer that will be provided for you. No worries on that. And if you guys need any more information, you can get a hold of Maria Quintana.
Okay.
And she is amazing. She will make sure that you guys get where you need to be. If you have any questions or concerns, she does really good at making sure your questions will be answered. And if she doesn't know it, she will find it and she'll let you know.
That's right. Maria Quintana is our community education manager.
Woo, go
Yeah,
Maria.
yeah, like that. That's a good job. That's nice. She's great. That is her number. It's 575-234-9268. Essential soft skills for success. We're asking for 18 and up on this one.
Yes.
We're also working directly with businesses to help them. Don't think you know how to do soft skills because you really don't until you take this class.
When I was doing my training on this, it really took me for surprise because I had to relearn, I've been doing that wrong.
Right.
I really, I don't want to do that again. And so me being someone that has worked in the public for 11, 12 years now, it re-showed me what I've been doing wrong.
Right.
Because you don't think about it. We do the same thing every day. It's just constant repetition.
Like you're stuck in these habits, huh?
Yes.
Right.
And we don't realize that we have to take it back.
Right.
And go, that's not what we're supposed to do.
Right.
And so with this class, I really loved how it reevaluated me.
Okay.
And it made me want to be better.
All right.
And I can't wait to get everyone and anyone in this class.
Excellent. I'm excited for you, Taylor Gonzalez with 2 Z's. That is now going to be the thing I say all the time.
I'm here for it.
Listen, everybody, July 9th, you can sign up until the day of.
Yes.
Right.
First class is free.
First class is free.
First class is free.
So the whole first 4 weeks is free.
No, just the one day on the 9th.
Okay.
The first class on the 9th will be free.
Okay.
And then the 16th and on, you have to pay.
Okay. It's just $20 a class.
Yes.
That's pretty affordable.
Just $20 for the whole month of July.
Okay. All right. So $20 total. July 9th is free. Check it out. Taylor Gonzalez with 2 Z's. Thank you very much for coming onto the program.
Thank you.
Essential soft skills for success right here at SENMC.
Have a great day, everybody.
You're listening to Community Forum on KCCC 930 AM, sponsored by Eddy County, honoring God, country, and family, thriving with industry since 1889.